Commander Jack Wells had been in space for 15 years, but he had never seen anything like this. He stood on the observation deck of Outpost Station 7, looking through the massive window at the old ship that floated in the repair bay. The ship was small and unimpressive. Its hull was covered with dents and scratches from years of floating through space. The words HFY were barely visible on its side, hidden under layers of space dust. "They want us to fix this old thing," Lieutenant Anna Reed asked as she walked up beside him. She shook her head, her short blonde hair catching the light. "It looks ready for the scrap heap." Jack sighed. "Orders from Fleet Admiral Thompson himself. We're to make it ready for space travel as soon as possible." "But why? That ship is at least 200 years old. It's from before we had decent shields or weapons. It's practically a museum piece," Anna said, tapping her datapad to bring up the ship's specs. Jack turned to look at her. "I asked the same question. The Admiral just said it was classified. No explanations given. No questions allowed." Around them, the station hummed with activity. Through another window, Jack could see stars and the edge of a blue-green planet below. But his mind was on the strange orders he had received that morning. The Pathfinder was one of the first human ships to travel beyond our solar system. It was built in a time when humans were just beginning to explore the stars. Its technology was primitive by today's standards. Yet here it was, being brought back to life when humanity needed its best ships, not relics from the past. "The timing doesn't make sense," Jack said, more to himself than to Anna. "Not with what's happening out there." What was happening was war. For the past year, humans had been fighting against an alien coalition called the Hegemony. The aliens were aggressive, powerful, and determined to take human territories. Their main warship, the Iron Vortex Slayer, had destroyed 3 human outposts in just the last month. The massive alien ship seemed impossible to defeat. Its hull could not be damaged by human weapons, and its own weapons could cut through human ships like they were made of paper. "We should be building new ships, not fixing old ones," Anna said. Jack nodded in agreement. "Let's go take a closer look." They walked through the station's corridors until they reached the airlock that connected to the repair bay. After going through the security checks, they entered the large open area where the Pathfinder waited. Up close, the old ship looked even worse. It was small compared to modern vessels, about the size of a destroyer, but with none of the sleek design or powerful weapon systems that modern destroyers had. Its hull was a patchwork of repairs and modifications from its long service life. "Chief Engineer Kelly, report." Jack called out to a man in a work suit who was examining a panel on the ship's side. Marcus Kelly turned and wiped sweat from his forehead. He was a large man with rough hands and 20 years of experience fixing ships. "Commander, this thing is a mess inside and out. Half the systems don't work, and the other half work in ways I don't understand." "What do you mean?" Jack asked. Marcus pointed to an open panel. "Look at this power system. It's not like anything I've ever seen. It's not in the specs either. Someone modified this ship a long time ago with technology I can't identify." Jack felt a chill run down his spine. Something wasn't right about this mission. "How long until it can fly?" he asked. Marcus laughed. "Fly? I'd be happy if I could get the lights to stay on for more than an hour. But with a full team working around the clock, maybe 3 weeks. That's just to make it move and breathe, not fight." "You have 1 week," Jack said, repeating the timeline the Admiral had given him. Marcus started to protest, but stopped when he saw Jack's serious expression. "I'll need more people," he said instead. "You'll have them," Jack promised. "Whatever you need to get this ship ready." As they talked, a woman in a science uniform approached them. She had been inside the ship and was carrying a tablet filled with data. "Commander Wells, I'm Dr. Lisa Moore, Xenotech specialist," she said, offering her hand. "I was sent by Fleet Command to assist with the Pathfinder." Jack shook her hand. "Xenotech, you study alien technology." Lisa nodded, her dark eyes serious. Admiral Thompson thought my expertise might be needed. Now I see why. She held up her tablet, showing readings from inside the ship. There are systems on this vessel that aren't human in origin. Jack, Anna, and Marcus looked at each other in surprise. What do you mean, not human? Anna asked. I mean, Lisa said quietly, that some of the technology on this ship appears to have been created by an advanced alien civilization. Technology we've never encountered before. Jack felt his heart beat faster. When was this ship last in service? Where did it go? Lisa checked her tablet again. Its last mission was 183 years ago. It went beyond the Perseus arm, farther than any human ship had gone at that time. Then there's a gap in the records, about 3 months with no data. When the logs resume, the ship was on its way back to Earth. Everything after that is classified at the highest level. Jack looked back at the old ship with new eyes. It wasn't just a relic, it was a mystery. What had happened during those missing months? What had the ship encountered out there in deep space? As if in answer to his unspoken questions, the lights in the repair bay flickered. For just a moment, Jack thought he saw a pulse of blue light move across the Pathfinder's hull. Did you see that? He asked. The others shook their heads. Let's get to work, Jack said, unable to shake the feeling that the ship was watching them. 1 week to get this ship spaceworthy. What none of them knew was that deep inside the Pathfinder's ancient computer core, systems that had been dormant for nearly 2 centuries were starting to wake up. The ship had sensed a threat, the same type of threat it had been modified to counter long ago. As the engineers began their work, circuits long dormant began to power up. Software no human had designed began to run quiet diagnostics. The Pathfinder was awakening, and it had a mission none of them understood yet. A mission it had been waiting almost 200 years to complete. 3 days had passed since work began on the Pathfinder. The repair bay hummed with activity as engineers and technicians worked around the clock. Chief Engineer Marcus Kelly hadn't slept for more than 4 hours at a time. His work suit was stained with oil, and his eyes were red from lack of sleep. This ship is fighting me, he muttered as he tried to reconnect power to the bridge controls. Every time they fixed one system, another would shut down. It was like trying to solve a puzzle that kept changing. Dr. Lisa Moore sat cross-legged on the floor nearby, her tablet connected to the ship's computer. These readings don't make sense, she said, pushing her glasses up her nose. The power core is drawing energy from somewhere, but I can't find the source. It's not fusion, not antimatter. I've never seen anything like it. Marcus wiped sweat from his forehead and looked over at her screen. Could it be the alien tech you mentioned? Lisa nodded slowly. I think so. But it's integrated with the human systems in ways I don't understand. It's like they're talking to each other. Just then, the lights in the section they were working on dimmed, then brightened again. A soft hum filled the air. Did you do that? Lisa asked. Marcus shook his head. I didn't touch anything. They both stared at the control panel as numbers and symbols flashed across the screen faster than they could read. Get the commander, Marcus said quietly. Now. Commander Jack Wells sat alone in his office, reviewing old files about the Pathfinder. Most of the information was basic. When it was built, its original crew, its missions. But there was almost nothing about its final journey beyond the Perseus arm. Just a departure date, then a gap, then its return. Everything else was marked classified with a security level Jack had never even seen before. His computer beeped with an incoming message. It was from Admiral Thompson. Progress report, Commander, the Admiral said, his gray-haired image appearing on the screen. We're working as fast as we can, sir, Jack replied. But there are complications. The ship has been modified with technology we don't recognize. The Admiral's face showed no surprise. That's why Dr. Moore is there. She can help you understand the modifications. Sir, with all due respect, what is really going on? Why this ship? Why now? Admiral Thompson was quiet for a moment. Then he sighed. The hegemony fleet is advancing faster than we expected. They'll reach the Sol system in 10 days. The Iron Vortex Slayer is leading them. Jack felt cold fear in his stomach. Earth, humanity's home, was in danger. Our defense fleet won't be enough. The Admiral cut him off. We've lost 12 more ships trying to slow them down. Nothing we have can stand against the Slayer. And you think this ancient ship can help? Sir, it has no modern weapons, no advanced shields. It has something better, the Admiral said. His voice was tired but certain. Trust me, Wells. Get that ship running. It's more important than you know. The screen went dark before Jack could ask more questions. Commander, Anna's voice came through his communicator. You need to come to the Pathfinder right away. Something's happening. By the time Jack reached the repair bay, a small crowd had gathered around the old ship. Marcus, Lisa, and Anna were standing near the main entrance, staring at the vessel. What's going on? Jack demanded. See for yourself, Marcus said, pointing. The Pathfinder was changing. Its scared hull now had a smooth, almost polished look. The old paint and markings were gone, replaced by a metal surface that seemed to shift colors slightly as Jack watched. It started about an hour ago, Lisa explained. The ship is repairing itself. That's impossible, Jack said, but he could see it happening with his own eyes. That's not all, Anna added. Look at the engines. Jack walked around to the back of the ship. The engine section, which had been a mess of old parts and outdated technology, was now streamlined and glowing with a soft blue light. How is this happening? He asked. Lisa consulted her tablet. The alien systems are taking over. They're reconfiguring the ship, upgrading it. And there's something else. She hesitated. The ship's AI is active. This ship doesn't have an eye, Jack said. Early human ships had simple computer systems, not the advanced artificial intelligence that modern ships used. It does now, Lisa replied. Or maybe it always did, and it was just dormant. But it's awake now, and it's taking control of the ship's functions. Jack approached the ship cautiously and placed his hand on the hull. It felt warm, almost alive. Can we communicate with it? He asked. As if in answer, the ship's main hatch opened with a hiss. Lights came on inside, illuminating a corridor that led deeper into the vessel. I think it wants us to come in, Anna said, her voice a mix of awe and fear. Jack made a quick decision. Lisa, Marcus, come with me. Anna, stay out here and keep everyone else back until we know it's safe. The three of them entered the ship slowly. The interior was as changed as the exterior. Gone were the cramped, utilitarian corridors of an early human vessel. The passages were now wider, the lighting soft but clear. The walls had the same shifting, metallic appearance as the hull. It's reconfigured the inside too, Marcus whispered. This isn't even the same layout anymore. They made their way to what should have been the bridge. The door slid open as they approached, revealing a command center unlike anything they had seen before. The old manual controls were gone, replaced by sleek panels that lit up as they entered. In the center was a single chair, positioned before a large view screen. Welcome, Commander Wells, a voice said. It was neither male nor female, neither human nor clearly artificial. It seemed to come from everywhere at once. Jack froze. You know who I am. I have accessed your station's database, the voice replied. I know who all of you are. Chief Engineer Marcus Kelly. Xenotechnology Specialist Dr. Lisa Moore. What are you? Lisa asked, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. I am the Pathfinder, the voice said simply. I was modified to serve as a guardian vessel 183 years ago. I have been waiting for the conditions that would activate my primary protocols. What conditions? Jack asked. What protocols? The presence of prohibited technology. The Iron Vortex Slayer uses systems that violate the compact. My function is to enforce the compact. The three humans looked at each other in confusion. I don't understand, Jack said. What compact? The view screen activated, showing an image of the stars. The agreement between the elder races of this galaxy. Some technologies are too dangerous to be used. The hegemony has broken this rule. They must be stopped. That's why Admiral Thompson wanted this ship, Marcus realized. He knew what it could do. The human you call Thompson is one of the few who knows part of my purpose, the voice confirmed. But even he does not understand fully. None of you do. But you will learn. Suddenly, alarms began to sound throughout the station. Anna's voice came through Jack's communicator, urgent and frightened. Commander, we're picking up multiple hegemony ships on long-range scanners. They've changed course. They're heading directly for us. The voice of the Pathfinder spoke again, and this time there was a new tone to it. Something like determination. They have sensed my awakening. They know what I am. We must prepare. On the view screen, the stars began to move as the ship's sensors focused on a distant point of light. Jack could just make out several shapes moving against the blackness of space. The hegemony was coming. And somehow, this ancient ship that no one had feared was the only thing standing in their way. Alarms blared throughout Outpost Station 7. Red emergency lights flashed in every corridor as personnel rushed to their stations. On the main command deck, screens showed 5 hegemony warships approaching. The largest was the Iron Vortex Slayer itself, a massive black vessel shaped like a sharp-edged star. It was twice the size of the largest human battleship, and far more powerful. They'll be here in 6 hours, Anna reported, her face pale as she studied the tactical display. Station defenses won't hold against that many ships, especially not against the Slayer. Commander Jack Wells stood in the center of the command deck, his mind racing. Order all non-essential personnel to the escape pods. Begin evacuation procedures. Sir. Anna looked up in surprise. This station can't withstand an attack from the Slayer. We need to save as many people as we can, Jack explained. He turned to the communications officer. Send a message to Fleet Command. Tell them the Hegemony Fleet has changed course and is heading for Station 7. Request immediate assistance. But Jack knew help wouldn't arrive in time. The nearest human fleet was days away. They were on their own. His communicator beeped. It was Dr. Lisa Moore calling from the Pathfinder. Commander, you need to get back here, she said urgently. The ship, it's doing something. When Jack returned to the repair bay, he found the Pathfinder completely transformed. The old battered vessel was gone. In its place floated a sleek ship with a smooth, silvery hull that seemed to catch and reflect light in impossible ways. It was still small compared to modern warships, but it radiated power in a way Jack couldn't explain. Marcus and Lisa waited for him at the entrance. It's finished repairing itself, Marcus said, his voice filled with awe. All systems are online and functional. Power levels are off the charts. The AI is requesting to speak with you, Lisa added. It says it's ready for its mission. Jack nodded and followed them into the ship. The interior had changed even more since his last visit. The bridge now featured 6 stations arranged in a circle around the central command chair. Each station glowed with soft light, displaying information in both human language and strange symbols Jack didn't recognize. Welcome back, Commander. The ship's voice greeted him as he entered. We have a problem, Jack said. 5 hegemony ships are heading this way, including the Iron Vortex Slayer. They'll reach us in less than 6 hours. We're evacuating the station. That is expected, the AI replied calmly. They have detected my reactivation. The Slayer recognizes what I am and considers me a threat. And what exactly are you? Jack asked. The view screen at the front of the bridge came to life, showing strange images, stars, planets, and creatures Jack had never seen before. Long ago, before humans reached the stars, there were elder races who explored this galaxy, the AI explained. They discovered technologies that could reshape reality itself. Some used this power wisely, others did not. Great wars were fought that scared the galaxy. The images changed to show terrible destruction. Planets breaking apart, stars exploding. Eventually, the surviving races created the compact. They agreed that certain technologies were too dangerous to use. They created guardians, ships like me, to enforce this agreement. And the hegemony has broken this agreement? Jack asked. Yes. The Iron Vortex Slayer uses prohibited technology stolen from an ancient site. That is why your weapons cannot harm it. That is why it must be stopped. Jack took a deep breath. Can you stop it? That is my purpose. But I need a crew. My systems were designed to work with organic minds. Will you help me, Commander Wells? Jack thought about the station personnel evacuating, about Earth lying vulnerable in the path of the hegemony fleet, about Admiral Thompson sending him to find the ship. Yes, he said firmly. What do you need me to do? Gather a crew. 5 others besides yourself. We must depart within 2 hours to intercept the hegemony fleet away from the station. 90 minutes later, Jack stood on the bridge of the Pathfinder with the crew he had chosen. Anna as tactical officer, Marcus as engineer, Lisa to monitor the alien systems, and 2 others, Sam Johnson, the station's best pilot, and Alex Torres, their top communications specialist. None of them had volunteered for what was clearly a suicide mission, but none had refused when Jack explained what was at stake. The Pathfinder believes it can stop the Iron Vortex Slayer, Jack told them as they took their stations. I don't understand how, but right now, it's the only hope we have. This is insane. Sam muttered as he settled into the pilot's seat. We're going to fight 5 enemy ships with an antique. This antique has surprises, the ship's voice said. Please secure yourselves. Launch sequence initiating. The crew strapped themselves into their chairs. On the view screen, they could see the repair bay doors beginning to open. Wait, Anna said suddenly. We haven't disconnected from the station's power and supply lines. No need, Marcus replied, checking his console. They've already detached themselves. This ship it's incredible. It's like it's thinking ahead of us. I am designed for efficient operation. The AI said simply. Launching now. There was no feeling of movement, no vibration or sound. One moment they were in the repair bay, and the next they were in open space, moving away from the station faster than should have been possible. Current speed is 0.3 light, Sam reported, his eyes wide as he looked at his instruments. No G-forces at all. How is this possible? The ship is generating its own gravity field and inertial control, Lisa explained, studying her readings. It's technology centuries beyond what we have now. The station shrank behind them as the Pathfinder accelerated even more. Setting intercept course with hegemony fleet, Sam said. At this speed, we'll reach them in under an hour. Jack settled into the command chair, feeling its contours adjust to perfectly support his body. What's the plan when we reach them? He asked the ship. I will attempt communication first, the AI replied. If they ignore the warning, I will enforce the compact. And how exactly will you do that? Jack pressed. The Iron Vortex Slayer has destroyed dozens of our ships. What makes you different? You will see, the AI said. There was something in its voice that hadn't been there before, something that sounded almost like anticipation. As the ship raced through space, faster than any human vessel had ever traveled, Jack noticed something strange. The crew stations were beginning to change, the controls reshaping themselves under the crew's hands. Light pulsed along pathways in the floor and walls. The ship is adapting to us, Lisa observed, watching her console shift and change. It's learning how we think, how we work. And it's teaching us, Marcus added, his fingers moving across his station with increasing confidence. I somehow know how to control systems I've never seen before. Jack felt it too, a growing connection to the ship, as if the Pathfinder was becoming an extension of his own thoughts. It was unsettling, but also exhilarating. Contact in 20 minutes, Sam announced. On the view screen, The stars blurred as the Pathfinder pushed itself faster. Ahead, 5 points of light grew larger. The hegemony fleet. The iron Vortex Slayer was at the center, its black hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. "They've detected us," Anna reported. "They're changing formation. Weapons powering up." Jack took a deep breath. 6 humans in an ancient ship facing the most powerful enemy fleet humanity had ever encountered. It should have been terrifying, but somehow he felt strangely calm. "Prepare for contact," he ordered. "And let's show them what this old ship can really do." The Pathfinder raced through space toward the approaching hegemony fleet. On the bridge, the crew watched as the enemy ships grew larger on the view screen. The iron Vortex Slayer dominated the formation, its massive black hull shaped like a giant throwing star with sharp edges that seemed to cut through space itself. 5 minutes to contact," Sam reported from the pilot's station. His hands moved across controls that shifted and changed under his touch, responding to his thoughts as much as his actions. "All systems at full power," Marcus added from engineering. "Whatever this ship plans to do, it's ready to do it." Jack sat in the command chair, feeling the connection between himself and the Pathfinder growing stronger by the minute. It was as if the ship was extending its awareness through him, and he through it. "Open a communication channel," he ordered. Alex Torres, at the communication station, worked her controls. "Channel open, Commander." "This is Commander Jack Wells of the Earth ship Pathfinder," Jack said, his voice steady despite the tension. "Hegemony vessels, you are using prohibited technology in violation of the compact. Power down your weapons and prepare to surrender the iron Vortex Slayer." For a long moment, there was silence. Then the view screen changed to show an alien face. The creature had gray-blue skin stretched over a bony face with 4 yellow eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Sharp teeth showed as it spoke. "I am Commander Drock of the Hegemony," the alien said in a harsh voice that the ship translated automatically. "Humans send one small old ship to face our fleet. Your desperation amuses us." Before Jack could respond, the ship's eye spoke. Its voice had changed, deeper, more powerful, with harmonics that seemed to vibrate in the air itself. "This vessel speaks with guardian authority," it stated. "The iron Vortex Slayer contains prohibited technology from Sector 7 to 9-3. Surrender the vessel for containment." Drock's expression changed instantly from amusement to shock. The alien commander stepped back from the screen, its 4 eyes widening. "Impossible," Drock hissed. "The Guardians are gone. They disappeared eons ago." "The Guardians created failsafes before their departure," the eye replied. "I am one such measure activated by your violation. Last warning. Power down and surrender the prohibited technology." Drock's face twisted with anger and fear. "Never." The communication cut off abruptly. "They're powering weapons," Anna called out from tactical. "All 5 ships are targeting us." Jack gripped the arms of his command chair. "What now?" he asked the ship. "Now we enforce the compact," the AI replied calmly. Suddenly, Lisa gasped at her station, where she monitored the alien systems. "The ship is accessing hidden protocols," she reported. "Energy levels are rising beyond anything I've ever seen." On the view screen, they could see the hegemony vessels firing. Beams of deadly energy lanced toward the Pathfinder, bright enough to make the crew shield their eyes. "Braced for impact," Jack shouted. But the expected hit never came. The energy beams struck an invisible barrier around the Pathfinder and simply vanished, absorbed without effect. "No damage," Marcus reported, his voice filled with wonder. "Our shields, or whatever they are, didn't even flicker." The ship's eye spoke again, but this time it addressed the crew directly. "It is time you understood what I truly am. Watch and learn." The bridge lights dimmed, and the view screen expanded until it surrounded them on all sides, giving the impression that they were floating in space itself. Around them appeared images, planets, stars, and beings of light and energy, unlike anything they had seen before. 17 million years ago, the elder races of this galaxy reached a level of technology that allowed them to manipulate the fundamental forces of reality, the AI explained as the images flowed around them. They could create and destroy matter, bend space and time, even alter the laws of physics within limited areas. The images changed to show terrible destruction, planets cracking open, stars collapsing, entire systems vanishing in flashes of impossible energy. This power led to conflicts, what you would call wars, though that word is insufficient. Billions of lives were lost. Thousands of worlds were destroyed. The very fabric of this galaxy was damaged. Lisa leaned forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. The great rifts, she whispered. The empty zones where stars should be but aren't. That was from these wars. Yes, the AI confirmed. Eventually, the surviving races realized they must establish limits. They created the Compact, a set of rules governing which technologies could be used and which were too dangerous. They also created enforcers, vessels like me, to maintain these rules. But the Guardians themselves, what happened to them? Jack asked. They evolved beyond physical form, the AI answered. But before departing this realm of existence, they chose certain younger species to serve as caretakers. Humans were one such species. Us. Anna asked in disbelief. Why would they choose humans? Your adaptability, your curiosity combined with empathy, your potential. The Pathfinder encountered Guardian representatives 183 years ago. They'd modified this vessel, installed me as its consciousness, and placed us in dormancy until needed. The surrounding images faded, bringing them back to the reality of the bridge and the hegemony fleet ahead of them. The Iron Vortex Slayer uses technology from a Guardian weapons facility. The AI continued. The hegemony discovered the facility 50 of your years ago. They did not understand what they found, but they used it to create weapons that violate the Compact. Jack understood now why Admiral Thompson had ordered the Pathfinder recommissioned. Somehow, the old Admiral had known what the ship really was. That's why our weapons can't harm the Slayer, Jack said. It's using technology we don't understand. Correct, the AI confirmed. But I understand it, and I can counter it. They're firing again, Anna warned. This time, multiple beams from all 5 hegemony ships converged on the Pathfinder. Once again, they struck the invisible barrier and disappeared without effect. The Slayer is moving, Sam reported. It's coming straight for us. The massive enemy flagship accelerated toward them, its pointed edges looking more threatening than ever. They intend to ram us, Jack realized. They can't harm us with their weapons, so they'll try to destroy us physically. But the AI seemed unconcerned. Now you will see why the Guardians were feared throughout the galaxy, it said. Now you will understand what I truly am. The ship hummed with power. Jack felt energy flowing through the vessel, through the crew, through him. It wasn't painful. It felt like being filled with light. What's happening? He asked, watching his own hands begin to glow with a soft blue radiance. I am synchronizing with you, the AI replied. The Guardians designed me to work in harmony with organic minds. Together, we are more powerful than either alone. As the Iron Vortex Slayer bore down on them, the Pathfinder began to shine with brilliant light. Energy coursed across its hull in patterns that seemed to form symbols and equations, the language of physics itself being rewritten. We are ready, the AI announced. Commander Wells, give the order. Jack felt the ship waiting for his command, felt the ancient power held in check until he released it. He thought of Earth, of all humanity depending on them in this moment. Enforce the Compact, he ordered. Stop the Slayer. The Pathfinder's response was both subtle and overwhelming. A wave of energy unlike anything human science had ever created pulsed outward from the small ship, rippling through space toward the oncoming enemy. The wave of energy from the Pathfinder spread outward like ripples in a pond. It was beautiful, a shimmering blue-white light that seemed to bend the very fabric of space. The crew watched in awe as it flowed toward the approaching hegemony ships. When it reached the 4 smaller vessels, they suddenly stopped moving. Their engines died, and their weapons powered down. They drifted helplessly in space, disabled but intact. But when the energy wave touched the iron Vortex Slayer, something very different happened. The massive warship shuddered as if struck by an invisible hammer. Its hull, which had withstood the most powerful human weapons without a scratch, began to glow with an angry red light. "What's happening to it?" Jack asked, leaning forward in his command chair. "The prohibited technology is being contained," the AI replied. "The process has begun." On the view screen, they could see the Slayer fighting against the Pathfinder's energy. Beams of black light shot from its weapons, only to dissolve harmlessly against the wave. The ship tried to move away, but it was held in place as if caught in an invisible net. "Incoming transmission," Alex reported from communications. Commander Drock's face appeared on the screen again. The alien looked terrified now, all 4 of its eyes wide with panic. "Stop this," Drock demanded. "You don't understand what you're doing. The technology cannot be contained. It will destroy us all." "The technology can and will be contained," the Pathfinder's AI replied calmly. "That is my purpose." "We surrender," Drock shouted. "We will give you anything you want. Just stop this process." Jack looked at his crew, then addressed the AI. "Can we accept their surrender? Let them live." "The crew can be spared," the AI answered. "But the prohibited technology must be contained. It is too dangerous to exist." Jack nodded. "Commander Drock, order your crew to the escape pods. We will allow them to leave before we finish with your ship." On the screen, Drock hesitated, then barked orders to someone off-screen. Moments later, Anna reported from her tactical station. "Multiple escape pods launching from all hegemony vessels," she said. "They're really abandoning ship." "Good," Jack said. "Let them go." He turned to the main view screen. "Pathfinder, proceed with containment once all life forms are clear of the target." "Acknowledged," the AI replied. They watched as dozens of small pods ejected from the hegemony ships and moved away to a safe distance. Scanner readings confirmed that all alien life signs had evacuated the vessels. "All hegemony crew clear," Anna reported. The Pathfinder's energy field intensified. The light surrounding the iron Vortex Slayer grew brighter, changing from blue to pure white. The massive ship began to tremble more violently. "Final containment sequence initiating," the AI announced. What happened next was something none of the human crew would ever forget. The iron Vortex Slayer, pride of the hegemony fleet and terror of human space, began to fold in upon itself. It was as if space itself was bending around the ship, compressing it from all sides. The process was eerily silent and methodical. The mighty warship that had stretched nearly a kilometer across shrank before their eyes. -800 meters, 500 meters, 200 meters. Its sharp edges curved inward, its weapons and systems collapsing into an ever-decreasing space. "My God," Marcus whispered from his engineering station. "It's creating some kind of space-time fold." Lisa nodded, her fingers flying across her console as she tried to analyze what was happening. "The ship is compressing the Slayer and all its technology into a self-contained pocket of space-time. It's like creating a tiny universe separate from our own." They watched in stunned silence as the iron Vortex Slayer continued to shrink -50 meters, 10 meters, 1 meter, until it was just a point of brilliant light hanging in space. Then, with a final flash, that point vanished completely. Where the most powerful warship in known space had been, there was nothing. No debris, no radiation, no trace that it had ever existed. "Target contained," the AI stated simply. "Threat neutralized." The bridge was silent for a long moment as the crew tried to process what they had just witnessed. What just happened to it?" Sam finally asked from the pilot's station. "The prohibited technology has been isolated in a sealed dimensional pocket," the AI explained. It can no longer affect our universe. The containment will last for approximately 1 billion years, after which the pocket will dissipate harmlessly. Jack leaned back in his chair, feeling suddenly exhausted. And the other ships? Their conventional systems have been disabled, but can be repaired. They pose no further threat. We did it, Anna said quietly, her voice filled with wonder. We actually stopped them. Jack looked around at his crew, 5 humans who had just witnessed something beyond human understanding. They had faced the most powerful enemy humanity had ever known and emerged victorious. What happens now? He asked the AI. The view screen changed to show a map of the galaxy. Several points of light began to glow at different locations. There are other violations of the compact that require attention, the AI replied. Other prohibited technologies being used or developed. My purpose is to address these threats. And you need us, humans, to help you. Jack asked. Yes. The Guardians designed me to work with organic minds. We are more effective together than apart. Jack thought about what this meant. The Pathfinder wasn't just a ship. It was a guardian of the galaxy, a keeper of ancient and dangerous knowledge. And somehow, it had chosen them to be its crew. If we help you, Jack said carefully, will we be protecting Earth? Keeping humanity safe? Yes, the AI confirmed. The greatest threats to your species come from technologies that violate the compact. By enforcing these rules, we protect all species, including humans. Jack looked at his crew. What do you all think? Continue this mission or go home? Anna spoke first. After what we just saw, how can we go back to ordinary lives? We can make a real difference out here. Marcus nodded. This ship is beyond anything I've ever dreamed of. I want to understand it, to learn from it. The scientific discoveries alone would be worth it, Lisa added. Imagine what we could learn about the universe. Sam and Alex voiced their agreement as well. The decision was unanimous. Jack turned back to face the view screen. All right, Pathfinder. We're with you. Where do we go first? First, we should return to your space to report what has happened, the AI said. Your leaders will need to understand the new reality. Then we will begin our true mission. As the Pathfinder turned and accelerated away from the disabled hegemony vessels, Jack felt a strange mix of emotions. Fear at the unknown journey ahead, pride in what they had accomplished, and wonder at the vast universe that had suddenly opened up before them. The ancient ship that no one had feared had revealed itself as the most powerful force in the galaxy, and humanity, represented by 6 ordinary people, had just become part of something extraordinary. Guardians of an ancient compact that protected all life in the stars. As if reading his thoughts, the AI spoke one last time before they jumped to faster-than-light speed. This is only the beginning, Commander Wells. Our journey together has just begun. The stars streaked into lines of light as the Pathfinder leaped forward, carrying its human crew toward a destiny none of them could have imagined.